Hey, spiritual extremist Dr. Lloyd-Moffett. And I really wish I was on top of Sierras to talk about this figure. But let's look at John Muir. Now, John Muir was born in Scotland. He emigrated to America, studied botany in college, and eventually became an industrial engineer. He hiked from Indiana to Florida at one point in his life, and that transformed him. Being out in nature really became his calling. Eventually he came out to California, and there he fell in love with the Sierras. And here is what is so fascinating. For him, the encounter with the Sierras is the St. Paul moment of encounter with Jesus. It is the same as the Muhammad moment in the cave. It is that moment where the soul is ripped out of its body and united with something higher in the world. And so for John Muir, nature is the vehicle by which divinity speaks. The greatest cathedral is Yosemite. The greatest spiritual high is found high up in the mountains. Let's listen to some of the things he says. He says, "Oh, these vast, calm, measureless mountain days, inciting at once to work and rest. Days in whose light everything seems equally divine, open 1,000 windows to show God." And he calls the Sierras the range of light, where every crystal and every flower is a window opening into heaven. That is, for him, these is the icons that allow us to see the world. And you see things that sound like classical mystical experience. These blessed mountains are so compactly filled with God's beauty, no petty personal hope or experience has room to be. The whole body seems to feel beauty when exposed to it, as it feels the campfire or sunshine entering, not by eyes alone, but equally through one's flesh like radiant heat, making a passionate, ecstatic pleasure glow not explainable. One's body then seems homogeneous throughout. Sounds of his crystals. He goes on. "We are now in the mountains, and the mountains are in us, kindling enthusiasm, making every nerve quiver, filling every pore and every cell of us. Our flesh and bone tabernacle seems transparent as glass to the beauty around us, as if truly an inseparable part of it, thrilling with the air and streams and rocks and the waves of the sun, a part of all nature, neither old nor young, sick nor well, but immortal. Just now I can hardly conceive of any bodily condition dependent on food or breath any more than the ground or the sky. How glorious a conversion, so complete and wholesome it is." And so for John Muir, being out in nature is the same, not always, but can create the same mystical experiences as the traditional mystics. The vehicles are not images of Jesus or encounters with Krishna, but the rocks, the skies, the stars. And those experiences should be seen as religious, as the equivalent of religious experience. We are one with something beyond us. Our sense of identity begins to break down, and we unite with the rocks and the mountains and the stars and the clouds. That's the nature of mysticism for John Muir.